the recruiting angles and which players are coming in, which transfers are perhaps looking at Florida State. I would invite you to check out Michael Langston's latest and all of the updates. Florida State football has a big recruiting weekend with signing day rapidly approaching, so you're going to want to follow that again as you go to warchant.com to check that out. So I find all of this amusing to watch what's happening with the athletic director search. Maybe I'm not as intensely connected to that search as a lot of people appear to be, partly because
meaning like it's a life or death proposition that we get Vince.
Yeah. I'm not overly concerned about that. Vince may very well be, as a side note, let's get straight to it. Vince Tyre may be coming to Florida State even still. It's an interesting situation. I can tell you know a lot more. You'll know a lot more at, let me double check the plane here. Let's see.
Well, the cat's out of the bag now.
Yeah, I'm double checking a few things here. Let's see. Probably know more by Tom. I want to be honest with the folks. Probably 4:30-ish, 4:45-ish. Unfortunately, the show will be over.
So it's the new JCS curse that we're on 1 to 3, huh?
Yeah. Well, the time kept moving back, so we'll continue to monitor this.
Some ins, some outs, some
what have you.
Yeah,
a lot of that going on Redemption Thursday. Well, so I think it's interesting, though. I think the more interesting aspect of all of this is to watch, in my mind, to watch how the game is played. So it could very well be, and on the surface, if it ends up happening, and it'll make me laugh, if it happens that Vince Tyre stays at Louisville, then he and his agent played it extremely well, and Florida State will be a victim of circumstance and look foolish. I mean, at least the aesthetic, what it looks like from the outside, they'll look foolish. Yeah, maybe they will. Maybe they will. We'll see. But a lot of times when you have these hiring firms doing the search for you and all, they're kind of tasked with the responsibility on both sides of it to try to keep things, close to the vest without word getting out. This has been a nightmare. I mean, they have failed across the board. I'm like, why do we pay these people? It's ridiculous. I mean, this has been talked about for 2 weeks. Like, who the hell? What kind of job are you all doing here? So that's one thing. But also the agents get tied into finding out, or the principal parties end up finding out which search firm is doing the hiring or suggesting. And then they get a guy on the inside and they start following that very closely, especially if they're representing somebody who will be directly affected or involved, as it's their job to know. And then they would closely monitor, okay, so if my guy is in the running, but I also know that one of the reasons he's even interested in leaving is that he hates this president, meaning the president at Louisville, and she's in the running for the Penn State job. Can we hold out long enough to where we find out whether or not she's going to get that job? Because if she is, we don't necessarily want to leave if we win the power struggle. Now, if we win the power struggle and we can stick around and my guy can then hire, let me tell you what this means, by the way. If Vince Tyre stays at Louisville, it means Satterfield can start looking for another job. So you see how you tie all this together? It's an awful lot of fun.
Well, I know that. They bring the income.
Right. So when you watch that, they're holding out, hold. Meanwhile, the actual people are like, man, what do we? And the agent has to settle down, man. This could all work out for all of us. You could end up having your pick of the job and more money, but you got to shut your mouth. You got to sit tight. This is what I do. This is what I'm doing. And then, let's say we were going to hire him for $1.2 million. So let's say
just a roundabout figure.
So you're going to pay him $1.2 million. All right. Well, he's sitting back going, all right, well, you know what? I don't really want to leave here. I mean, all I want to do is hire Brom. I want to bring him from Purdue. I want to bring him in here to Louisville, bring the prodigal son back home. Let's go. We'll have an offense that we can really, really get excited about.
Win it to you, Brom.
Yeah. So they want it. And then the other thing is that he says, well, now hold on. You could maybe have the Florida State job. And if we really get involved in negotiations where you're wanted by both, I can get this up to $2 million per. Pride will kick in. They don't want to look foolish. They want to get their man. So hang in there with me, killer. Now let's find out if the school president's going to get that job at Penn State, because that dictates terms. So this got drawn out. Meanwhile, people's lives are in the balance. You've got people that work at the Moore Athletic Center that damn well know if that guy's hired, they're fired in all likelihood, because that's what happens. That's not a matter of, it's not even necessarily me commenting on the job they do or do not do. It's what happens when athletic directors, real athletic directors, come in to new schools, is they bring in their people. They got to get their people on the ground so that they can do what they want to do. And they have to have people who understand how they work. And so they're going to come in and they're going to assess very quickly, as you and I have discussed, very quickly. It ain't weeks at a time. It's very quickly. Is this guy competent? Does she know what she's doing? All right. What about, okay. Yep. You're gone. I like you. You can help me. Yeah. That's how that goes. All right. And so can you imagine all the people, all the pieces of the puzzle right now? Everybody from the pilot on the tarmac who's waiting to take off because he hasn't taken off yet. So there he sits, and it keeps getting pushed back. He's like, well, I mean, I thought I was going to be flying into Ali, but we got another 15-minute wait, another 15-minute wait after that, another, so there he holds, right? Now he's probably talking to somebody. He's probably got friends. I mean, everybody's connected to somebody. Everybody's calling in favors. So then that guy, he's getting calls. His phone's blown up. Have you left the tarmac? Nope. Haven't left yet. Prank caller. And then there they go. There they sit. Then you've got the people in the Moore Athletic Center like, are we moving? Honey, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to have a job in an hour or whether or not we're here for the long haul. Don't have any idea. Then you have the coaches, all the coaches of the various programs, not just football. Obviously, all the coaches are kind of like, man, I really liked it here, but I hear this guy is all about football and football only. He may come in and say, you know what, swim coach, you're not necessary to the bottom line here. We're either slashing your budget or you're out, period, whatever it might be. So you have all these people and the people underneath that person, the people who work for that person. They're all sitting around going, okay, all right, don't know. Yeah, being in limbo kind of sucks, right? Everybody been in limbo before. We've all been in that position. It's not good. When you don't control your own destiny, it's awfully difficult. You go to bed at night, not controlling your own destiny. You drive into work that day, not controlling your own destiny. That sucks. It's a bad feeling. It's a terrible feeling. So everybody's on pins and needles. Then you got the working press. That's all of us, right? Who is it? Who's it going to be? Does Florida State have egg on their face? Are they getting played? Are they getting used? Oh, wait a minute. No, they may still get their guy. Then you've got the agent. You got the hiring firms. You got all the people involved. Meanwhile, you got that president who hates Vincent Tyree, and she's going, you know what? F this. I'm leaving this sorry-ass commuter college that is Louisville, and I'm getting a promotion. I'm going to Penn State, a real school. I get to leave this sorry piece of crap of a university and go to a real school. All of a sudden, I've got a much better reputation. You guys can have Vincent Tyree. I'm out of here. I'm taking the job. Now, Vincent's like, all right, we can stay if we want, and I can bring in my guy. And Braum and his people are going, are we leaving Purdue? Because Lord knows I'd like to get the hell out of Purdue. You just see all of the factors. It's beautiful.
Well, I know that. They bring the egg home.
Yeah, so it's great. It's kind of fun. Just it's when the FBI has got the big board up there, or all the crime task force. They're like, what about Sal? Who's Sal connected to? He's connected to Willie. I told you that years ago. Willie in Miami? Yes, Willie in Miami. I thought Willie just owned a bread company.
Damn it, Jim. I told you. Sharpie Sal to Willie. You got to Sharpie the arrow.
Oh, it's great. It's great. So
it really isn't. But yeah.
Well, I mean, it's great in that it's all interconnected. Most things are. But it's really fun to watch. And you try to, if you follow it closely to see who's connected to whom, you can get pretty good insight as to who's winning the battle, both from a PR standpoint, but ultimately who's going to actually win the war. And I mean, I have to imagine late last night, very early this morning, was a real good moment for Vincent Tyree and his agent. The second they learned that they weren't going to have to deal with that president anymore, they suddenly had a lot of leverage.
Yeah, and I think it's also fair to say, too, that there is a playing of Louisville going on. This is you're playing multiple hands at the same time. You're describing it already. I'm not saying anything that you didn't necessarily, but when he got released from his non-compete last night, everybody thought that, well, that's the final hurdle that needs to be cleared. But he didn't sign paperwork immediately. It wasn't oh, look at that. I'm free. Okay, thanks. Now you can put the pen to paper. They waited. And either depending upon who you believe, with whatever sources that are connected in FSU circles or Louisville circles, there was a turn down of the job last night or this morning. So maybe they caught wind that the president was leaving last night and it was hold your horses, or maybe they've just been playing it all along because they knew that Penn State was open and the Louisville president was a finalist. It's hard to know. It's hard to sort through all that stuff. But I find it ironic and funny that Louisville's president, who clearly does not prioritize athletics in the way that David Tyree does, allowing him to make big moves if he wants to make them.
It's Vincent Tyree, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry, I say David. Did
Yeah.
I say Vincent twice? Whatever.
No, you said it's okay. You just confused me
that.
for. I thought
Vincent
I
Tyree.
doing it wrong.
Good old Vince.
Yeah.
And that's what we'll call him when he's down here in a couple hours. Good old Vince.
Hey, Vince.
Yeah.
We've been speculating about you.
That's right. Openly talking about your decisions, your personnel moves.
Yeah.
But I find it ironic that Louisville's president would replace Eric Barron, who also didn't care for athletics, except when he was trying to care for athletics and
Well, when he was corralling Jimbo and telling him
bulldozing
that,
the football program.
well,
yeah.
but what he was actually doing was telling him that you don't have carte blanche to do whatever you want. Which,
to a degree,
Yeah.
but the way the boosters were at the time, that was hardly ever a part of the talking point because we thought that the boosters were going to operate the way they did forevermore. But that's the hard part. Now it's a lot easier. That's why, back to the main point, for whoever the candidate is that not named Vincent Tyree, if he isn't to be the hire, this is a much more attractive place to come to these days because you have
actual decision-making power and purse strings.
Yeah.
I would say that I failed to even mention in all of this that if you're Alford, you're watching very, very closely because one would, I venture a guess, and I am venturing a guess, that he would have been second in line to get it. And here's the first guess. If he doesn't get it and Vincent Tyree doesn't take the job and Alford gets passed over a second time, well, he's gone. You can go ahead and count on that. He ain't sticking around to run the boosters if not once but twice he gets publicly dissed. I would guess that that's sealing the fate at that point. Maybe once, maybe.
Yeah.
Twice? No.
Now that gets interesting. If it was Alford, and I know that was the wide speculation leading up to the past week or two, is he entrenched enough in the FSU way of doing things that he's not going to rock the boat? Or has he just been waiting for this position to become available to him, and then he's going to make sweeping changes like you were discussing that Vincent Tyree would?
Oh, I believe that to be true, yes. The latter.
The latter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I think anybody with eyes.
Right.
So that would be my guess. Yeah. It's fascinating. It is fascinating. It's a lot of it's a political game. A lot of it is a connection. A lot of it is prioritization, like you're talking about. Who has what? It's funny. Yeah, Live Spectator brought it up. David Tyree is the giant. Yeah, we both have done it at least once, both in the last 2 days. And I thought about it later on. I was like, why do we keep doing that? That's right. That was the catch, the most ridiculous catch ever. And now, I don't know that he ever caught another pass.
Now, his last name looks like it should be pronounced Tyree, but it's Tyree.
We're going to go lukewarm Redemption Thursday today because we don't have next week's games is where I'll get into the college stuff a little bit more. I'll fancy a few for you today of the early games, of the early bowl schedule, like the 17th and all of that. I'll throw some of that out there because it's already the 9th. It would have been great if it were the 10th.
Hey,
10th, dude.
This morning, our mutual friend this morning put together the Bowl Confidence Pool. It's back. It's back.
Go.
Bowl Mania.
Yay.
Let's do it.
Let's do that. That's right. By the way, Dalvin Cook tonight. He's back. Comes back quickly.
All hands on deck.
Well, it's all hands on deck for both teams. This is a winner go home death match or something like that for wrestling. Whoever loses this can take it on down the road. No playoffs for you.
Losers fired.
Yeah, that's
You're
it.
fired.
That's it. They're all gone. Whoever loses tonight. That's why the game's interesting at all. Is that these two kind of slappies, average ass teams, not much to hang your hat on with these two, are going to war tonight, and they will play as hard as you've seen any two teams play on a Thursday night because their postseason berths are on the line.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting points here, too, because Minnesota's offense is dangerous enough that if they made it to the wild card, even if they played like slappies for 3 months, you'd be a little nervous when you have if it's healthy.
Yeah.
And you've got Jefferson, Thielen, and Cook.
Except for Thielen is out again tonight,
He
and
is.
that's a high ankle sprain, and my guess is he's not back next week or the week after.
Right.
Problematic for yours truly. That said,
Or DFS KJ Osborne.
correct.
Yeah.
Now I would also note that, if you stop Jefferson, what do the Vikings have? They have Dalvin Cook.
The other thing I can say, though, knowing multiple Minnesota Vikings fans, it's not uniform, the opinion, but many are
ready to move
the
on.
mind that,
Yeah,
if you lose this one,
Yeah.
then Zimmer can finally, go pound sand.
You lose this one, you can get on with the getting, as they say. It's time to take it on down the road. Got a lot of people in that boat right now. I mean, imagine being a Chicago fan. Like, why are you even playing right now? You might as well lose these games. You get rid of your boy, move it along, get the draft
They can
pick.
rid up and beat the Packers this weekend.
Well, it'd be
That'd
nice
okay.
of them to do.
Yeah.
It would be a miracle. They don't have a lot going for them in Chicago right now. There's just nothing that you can look at and go, "Oh, that's good."
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Their hockey team isn't exactly something to write home about.
I didn't mean the
Bulls,
entire.
Patrick Williams is out for like the year, which is unfortunate.
Really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Chef Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Let me tell you what T-Spark stands for. It stands for strength, commitment, teamwork, and heart. We don't ever quit until we've got nothing left to give. Our team is unstoppable. Want a guaranteed win? Call T-Spark Enterprises for your next roofing or construction project. We conquer all peaks. T-SparkConstruction.com. License number CCC 1331204.
Help Christmas Connection bring Christmas joy to children and families in need. This year more than ever, give a gift, make a donation, or volunteer your time. Tallahassee Family Magazine and these local businesses have teamed up to bring you this message. Gain Street Pies, Wooden Glass, Sellers in Tallahassee, and Truck and Car Concepts. Be a helper. Help Christmas Connection bring Christmas joy to families in need. Learn how at helpchristmasconnection.com.
Now that it's Christmas time, it's time to spread the holiday cheer, and there's no better way to lift spirits than a visit to Tallulah CBD. Shop local and stuff your stockings. Delta 8 gummies for $1.99. Chocolates are just $3.50. Oils, vapes, and so much more. Plus, while you shop around, you can now enjoy all new CBD drinks on tap, like Kava, Delta 8, and Kratom. Absolute stress-free shopping. Only at Tallulah CBD on Market Street and in Bannerman Crossing. Merry Christmas from the ladies at Tallulah.
Hi, I'm Jeff, founder of Witch Superior Sandwiches, and I'm here to tell you about our signature witch, the Wicked. Why call it the Wicked? Some say it's wicked tasty, some say it's wicked large. One thing's for sure, with oven-roasted turkey, ham, pepperoni, roast beef, and bacon, as well as your choice of 3 cheeses, it definitely takes you from wicked hungry to wicked happy in just a few wicked good bites, only at Witch Superior Sandwiches.
On Wednesday, the Wicked is just $5. 5 meats, 3 cheeses, $5.
The all-new Smitty's Tap House and Grill is now open. Smitty's reflects a deep appreciation for fine craft beers and tasty bar treats, with family recipes handcrafted by Smitty himself. Try the house-made giant pretzels, made from scratch mozzarella sticks, and some of the best cheesesteaks you've ever had. We're not even scratching the surface on what Smitty's Tap House and Grill has to offer, so be sure to visit Smitty'sTapHouse.com to check out the full menu. Smitty's Tap House and Grill on Thomasville Road, just north of Cary Forest Parkway.
See Nice Tire and Auto Service at 4792 Bluntstown Highway today. The ASC trained technicians at Nice take the guesswork out of fixing your car. That's why wherever you see the Goodyear sign, you'll find what you want in tires and service. From preventative maintenance to a major overhaul and everything in between, you name it. Plus, Nice's services are backed by a nationwide limited warranty. Stop by Nice Tire and Auto Service. 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
Sarah here from Seminole Auto Glass. Remember when you used to get yelled at for writing the Braille?
Oh yeah, those bumps on the yellow line. That was before the car techie stuff we have now, like lane keep assist.
You know, when your windshield is replaced, those cameras need to be reset. It's called recalibration. Seminole Auto Glass was the first to offer it here.
Nice, keeping us inside the line instead of riding the line.
And we offer drop-off or mobile service. Plus, we give you a $50 gift card with your windshield through insurance. We're more than just a glass company. We're your local auto glass experts. Better call Seminole.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
That was a nail biter as ETSU fights another day. 32-31 over Kennesaw State. Actually, it's been interesting for me to follow ETSU as it's been 1 week after the next close game, going all the way back to October. 17-13 over Furman. 27-20 over VMI. They had a 38-35 win over Mercer. I mean, every week. But got to give Randy Sanders credit. Good job, Randy Sanders.
Good old Randy Sanders. I liked him. He was a solid interview.
He was a straight shooter, and the interviews were always good. But, yeah, 32-31 over Kennesaw State, and now ETSU takes it on down the road to North Dakota State. Let's get it on. Get it on. Come get your whooping. That's at noon. You're looking to lock into a little quality football matchup. Check out the Buccaneers against North Dakota State this weekend. Like I said, I watch them all now. I'm watching all of it, and it's fun. Orange Theory Fitness. You've been thinking about it. 2 locations in Tallahassee. Thomasville Road, Village Square Boulevard, in the Village Commons as well. It's the one I go to. Open till 8. First workout free. Go figure it out. Go figure it out. Go to the one nearest to you. Go in there and say, all right, buck up and see what this is. Because I think if you do it, you'll like it. You'll love it. And to me, a lot of it isn't just the science-backed workout, and the proven result that you'll get when you commit. But to me, it's the people and it's the coaches. You'll find they have a lot of different styles, but you'll find somebody that you absolutely adore and that you relate to and are motivated by more than anything else. And I think being held accountable, those things for all of us, especially when it comes to workouts, are important. And Orange Theory Fitness, just on that note, it's one of the first things that happens when you go there. It's transformative. So, again, I mentioned there's 2 locations in town. Check them out, Thomasville Road there and Midtown and Village Square Boulevard out there by Fresh Market. So, and if you tell them Jeff Cameron sent you, nothing happens. They just say, well, that's cool. That's good to know.
They nod. They just nod. Okay.
They go, again, another one. This guy is an animal.
Yeah. That's where the on the application it says, how did you find us? Jeff Cameron.
So I would say this too. Tonight's game, I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. Do you have any direction whatsoever to pick in this game? Both have glaring weaknesses. Both are not consistent in any way, shape, or form. Think about this. Minnesota. There you go.
Basketball.
Loses to Detroit.
A little pep in the step for the final season.
Loses to Detroit. And, of course, the Steelers did what? Tied Detroit. So
that's all you need to know.
These 2 sorry-ass teams, what are we doing here? You got to be committing. The only thing Detroit has going for are the 2 games against these 2 teams.
Right. Now, but you did play this game already. You took a future on it last week.
I did take a future on it, but I regret it.
The mistakes I've made
are unfortunate.
Yeah. You could still be on the right side of it.
I could.
What did you take anyway? Was it Vikings minus?
I got it
2 or
cheaper. It was minus early on. I think I got it for 2.5. It's up to 4, and now it's all the way down to. I think it got moved to a pick'em when Thielen was announced that he was out. Here's what I didn't know. The Vikings are 1-9 ATS as the favorite in their last 10. You go to hell.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? That's a fireable offense in and of itself.
Well, he should have been canned a long time ago.
I mean, 1-9 ATS as a favorite in your last 10?
You know what my response to that would be? And we need to grab it for Director Matthew needs to grab it. It's the Kermit and Christian Bale. 1-9 against the spread as a favorite. That would be the nod. Back and forth.
1-9 ATS against the spread as a favorite. That is crazy. You're just incompetent. Yeah, I may buy my way out of this one. I may take the early payout and run for it.
Hey, I did that on the morning of FSU Miami.
Yeah.
It was the best $2.50 I ever spent.
Yeah, man. Some games down deep, they hit you and they tell you, as we're fond of saying, it's all wrong for us, baby. Let's just leave this alone. I'm almost leaning more and more towards the Steelers. Without Thielen, you just have to stop Jefferson. Pittsburgh's got a decent defense.
Yeah, the question is, when is Najee going to be a factor again?
Mm-hmm.
And Minnesota's been leaking oil defensively. They don't cover anybody very well.
Well, as evidenced by the cushion in the end zone against Detroit for inexplicable reasons.
I call that the Fuller 5. When you give him 5 yards release.
From last year.
Yes, the 2020 Fuller 5. Yeah.
It's funny.
On the final play of the ball game, you got to have it play. Sure, go ahead. Give him a cushion. It's no big deal.
Dalvin will be back for tonight's game against the Steelers. He was expected to miss at least 2 games, according to multimedia outlets, but he is tough. We know that. We remember that, and he'll make his way back out there. We shall see. I don't know.
That was a goofy game. He got hurt in the San Francisco
It also
game.
looked like an injury. It didn't look like anything. I didn't understand it.
It looked like a leg, but then you watched and you're saying, no, he didn't get his
separated
leg
shoulder.
pinned. Yeah, his leg didn't get pinned down. But he grabbed at it right away. Now, if Dalvin is anything, he's aware of what his body is doing and telling him if it's injured or not. Dalvin's awareness on that level is absurd.
Yeah, well, I remember one time, interesting.
Thank you, Matthew. You got the GIF up. There it is.
Oh, I wasn't looking. I'm not looking at the stream. There, we should have that at all times.
That's going to be off used. Yes.
So I remember talking to a trainer that had worked with 2 or 3 professional athletes, and he was talking about, and one of them was an Olympic sprinter. Okay. And, those are finely tuned automobiles, if you will. I mean, you have to know everything about your body. And when you are a world-class sprinter, it's like these tune-ups for cars that are, like Indy cars, F1 and all that. It's any little thing that's off can be the difference between a world record or you winning an event or whatever it might be. And so they all know it. They become so in tune with what their body's telling them at all times. Like a little pain here, and we talk about everything being connected. They understand it, so they have their physio people immediately like, hey, listen, I'm feeling a little strain here on the right, all that. He was talking about when you talk to those levels of athletes, it's bizarre how well they know their body. It could be like the left pinky finger hurts, and they know there's something wrong with their right buttocks.
It's all the chain.
Okay.
It's all
I've got a pain here in the left pinky. Something. Can you stretch my right quad? It's like, what? But they know the connectivity. And Dalvin, I think more than any athlete we ever covered, certainly had that. And he certainly knew it with the hamstring. Have you ever seen somebody go from 100 to 0 just like that? Straight to the ground immediately, following even a tinge, a twitch. Because he's out the gate, as Jimbo would say, for that long touchdown run against Miami, if he doesn't just fall straight to the ground.
I have a piece of news as the saga continues for one Vince Tyree. Not David, but Vince Tyree. Louisville has, according to multiple reports out there, received his letter of resignation. So Louisville is out. It would be private sector and FSU, it would appear at this time.
Yeah, so there's a business opportunity that's been floated around out there, and or it is Florida State. Now, if you want to know if it's Florida State, follow the plane, everybody.
That is usually a ridiculous venture, but in this case, with an athletic director hire, there's no subterfuge necessary. He just resigned. What the hell does it matter?
Just follow the plane. Let me know if it leaves Stewart, everybody. If it,
Oh, wow. Okay, you're going to pinpoint it.
well, everybody knows that's where the big wigs all fly out of. I mean, that's Brooks Koepka flies out of there. Anybody who's got a private jet chartered, that they fly out. I mean, that's where they go.
Did you watch 1 second of the match over the Thanksgiving
God,
holiday?
no, I couldn't think of anything I wanted to watch less.
Well, it actually was pretty good because of Charles and Phil just going back and forth.
That would have been good, and I know Brooks won, as I figured he would, and I assume he played well from what I gather. He did. That's been the most ridiculous saga. It's made them both lots of money. Great.
Yeah. And then Tiger's going to swoop in and take that because the PGA has, amount of interactivity and it's like top 15 or whatever it is, and they pay out so much money. It's a weird program, incentivized for web hits, essentially. Tiger puts one video of him hitting golf balls on the range, and he's going to beat them all with one post.
Tiger Woods is, and we've talked about this before, in the last 50 years, 60 years, wouldn't you say that he is one of the 3 biggest athletes in the world?
Yeah.
Him and Jordan. You throw in Ali.
Yeah. If you go 50, 60 years, then it's Ali, Jordan,
that's it. It's like
Tiger. Yeah.
I mean, and the thing of it is, like, and obviously you would have to take, name your.
Go with Ryan Lochte.
You would also probably name, Messi or whoever you want to, like, one of the world-class soccer players. But with Tiger, it's him talking about playing with his kid. We're about to be able to, and this will be a fascinating psychological study because we've already seen the swing. We've already seen the game. Charlie hits whatever that was, a freaking 5-wood last year from 2 whatever to within 5 feet for eagle. I mean, he's already got the game. Now, can you imagine having to handle that pressure? You're Tiger Woods' son.
No,
that seems impossible.
That's the thing is like, how will he have the chip on his shoulder that his father had? That would be more impressive if Charlie did because of all the things he was afforded in life.
It's insane. Well, I don't know if it'd be more impressive, but it'd be very impressive. Now that we know by watching the documentary just how messed up Tiger's dad was.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, but I mean, when you come from nothing-ish and you go to that level versus Charlie growing up the way he did, always being Tiger Woods' son.
One can only imagine.
Well, and so nobody's going to tell you anything because they don't want you to tell your dad that they're a jerk because that would be bad for them. So nobody's ever been rude to him. I'm sure Tiger Woods as a kid ran into a lot of flack. But we digress. Yeah. He's playing this weekend. He committed to play with his son this weekend.
Yeah. He said he was going to do that anyhow.
The most watched father-son match ever.
He also said he was going to need him to carry them. It's like there's only so many shots he can hit.
Oh, I got 5 shots.
They're all better than yours. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
According to the city's director of aviation, the Tallahassee International Airport's progress on the International Passenger Processing Facility is right on track. During Wednesday's meeting, the city commission voted to consolidate and transfer funding to the project, accept a grant from FDOT, and award the construction contract. Pollard says the facility will have far-reaching impacts, not only for Tallahassee, but for the entire region. For the facility to be operational by December of 2024, construction will begin in March. The total cost of the facility is over $28 million. Pollard says it could take 7 to 10 years to see the full return on investment. Advocacy groups are criticizing the Florida Department of Education for removing an anti-bullying webpage from its site, saying the decision will harm LGBTQ students. A spokesman for the state education department on Wednesday said it removed the portal because it contained links to federal sites that previously provided helpful guidance and information, but now are being used as platforms for advocacy. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by McKenzie Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at McKenzie.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Cloudy skies this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 70. Winds out of the southeast around 5 miles per hour. Slight chance for scattered rain showers tonight. Lows dip down to about 61. Cloudy skies expected. Cloudy skies expected again tomorrow. Scattered thunderstorms likely. Daytime highs approaching 78. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 60.
Are you stumped on who to call for fast and affordable crane and tree service? Deep South Tree Service is a cut above the rest. They go out on a limb for their customers. With the largest crane in the Big Bend area, no job is too tall, no job is too small. Call Rob for a free quote today. 850-877-TREE. That's 877-8733. Deep South Tree Service. Our roots run deep.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
Hold on, Tom. Is that Eddie again?
Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad. Hey, what's up, guys? What are you doing?
Back on the golf course, Eddie? You don't play. Are you playing?
No, man. You know me. I don't know the difference between a 4-iron and a cesta. But
different sports.
I'm out here giving out gift cards, man. I'm delivering some gift cards for people for Christmas. So make sure you come get your gift cards. Call up, order them up. We can get them to you.
Greatest gift to open, especially, I think, out of a stocking.
Ooh,
stocking gift card from Gordo's or Bumpus is where it's at.
Hey, we like pantyhose, stockings, anything you got. We'll put them in there, baby.
Let's try to keep it clean. Take care of your town and your people like you do, Eddie. I'll take one of those gift cards. Thanks, brother.
You bet. You know, if you could wish for anything, Jeff, what would it be?
World peace. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
Charlie Chris, he's running for governor. To mention the governor, I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. And we see it in presidential. We see it all the time. It's the new norm. We even saw it in local that it should be. It's like, hey, I'm running for this local seat.
Do you understand? I heard a statistic that like half of our population reads at like an 8th grade level.
And what is the other 2/3 rate?
That means almost half does not. You're right.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
The kids of the Guardian ad litem. This is going to be fun. It's at District 850. And for those that did not hear us talk about it the last couple of days, here's the reminder. It's going to take place Monday, the 20th of December, 7 p.m. That's, again, Monday, the 20th of December at District 850. We thank them for their support. We thank them for housing the event. We've got 16 lanes. They're going to all be manned by a waiter or waitress to help out while we're bowling for your team. You'll get set. You can order what you want. Maybe you get a lemonade or something a little stronger. And
a John Daly.
Perhaps. And also they're going to chip in some food as well, which is awfully nice of them, either chicken fingers or pizza, I think. My man Eddie from Gordo's, of course, always doing the right thing by the community. They, too, will cater to the event, and we'll have some food there for the JCS annual holiday bowling tournament at District 850. And if you don't know, we've been doing this for a long time. It's one of our favorite events. It's probably our favorite event without question because of the ability to help out some kids in need, and the community comes forth and really has provided it probably more than one would even deem reasonable. And I think that is just it shines such a great light on the city of Tallahassee and the folks in it. So this is the part I want you to hear most. If you cannot play, but you want to help out, a lot of people, I get it. The 20th may be too late for you. You may be out of town. You may be doing something. You may be caught up with work that night, whatever, because it is on a Monday night. I don't know. But you still want to do the right thing. You're like, well, how can I help? Well, if you go by District 850, it is set up now. They have a giant Christmas tree there. They're accepting gifts on behalf of the Jeff Cameron Show and the Guardian ad litem. So if you go there and you drop off a present, we ask that you go get something, one for a boy, one for a girl, whatever it might be, whatever you can really do, whatever you can afford to do. We appreciate greatly. They appreciate greatly. You can drop off toys there. But if you really want to be safe, just drop off gift cards, because that is kind of the catch-all. You get kids of all ages that are benefited by those gift cards. You know, one of the sad things is that as the kids get older and they're in the program, they get forgotten about. You know, they're not 4 or 5 years old. Everybody's heartstrings are pulled by little kids. But the kids that are 15, 16, they'd like to have Christmas too. It'd be nice if they were able to do something on that day, just like everybody else. So gift cards allow for the counselors and the people helping these children out to go with them and pick something out, and where they can say, oh, well, I'd like this video game, or I'd like whatever it might be. So you can always drop off gift cards, and we'll be taking these gifts all the way through to the 20th and the day of. So please, if you can help out in any way, we certainly appreciate it. And you can start dropping off stuff now at District 850. So we appreciate that. ABC is the sponsor, by the way. Thank you to ABC.
Yeah. They're doing NSD as well next week. That's next Wednesday.
That's right. Yeah.
And Gordo's is, as always, you mentioned that because they'll be catering. But that's one of Eddie's favorite things to do, is be a steward for the community, and we thank him for his support. We've got a lot of great friends because, District 850 is allowing us to use their facilities as a donation. Free, because they see the value in what Tallahassee is about to do on the 20th for the community. So there's no entry to play except for those toys and those gift cards. That's it. Donations. You show up. We have some food for you. There'll be wait staff. There'll be Monday Night Football and other bowl games on the
What
screens.
a good night, man.
The setup there is cush. It's very nice. You're going to enjoy it.
A couple things here while we're on the feel-good vibe as we move ever closer to Christmas. First of all, as we go to break in a few minutes, you'll play Billy Squire. We'll all celebrate together. No, we won't. What?
We don't usually. We don't have outs. You want me to play it on the way back?
Do you get in trouble?
We'll get zapped. I know. The Scrooges of YouTube. That's an appropriate way to describe it.
We'll play it on the way back. Then is what we'll have to do. That's silliness. But I wanted to stay with the theme here. Remember how every year, I'm sure he still does it. I'll have to check around to see if he does. But remember how every year we would celebrate Andre Johnson, my favorite Cane ever?
Yeah.
Only
like legit.
There's only like 2 or 3 that I've ever.
People are waiting for the punchline. There is
no
punchline.
No, he's awesome. It's just a legitimate. He was a great player, and the Christmas shopping that he would allow for every year with the kids was the best. Just watching his kids run through it was the best. It was the best. And we all dream, like, if you won the lottery, yeah, you'd be able to help your family. You'd be able to help do things. You'd live somewhere that you've always dreamt of. But, most of us, I think, all think about how cool it would be to surprise people, do really cool things for people just because you could.
Right, like $5 million NIL deals.
Perhaps. But it's nice to know the Bucs have a guy, too, who every year is in the running for the Walter Payton Award, and that is Mike Evans. And he did it again, and he doesn't like the publicity. In fact, he kind of told the Tampa Bay Times, I'm not real comfortable with the article you want to write.
This is consistent. Having been in a Bucs postgame locker room setting, Mike is very uncomfortable around people in general. He's
shy.
He's very, and if you read up about his upbringing and how tough it was in childhood, he has turned that negative experience around to make it a positive world for those around him, those he can affect. Like, he's a really good guy, but he's also very to himself, and that's where it's really cool that once again for Tampa, he's been nominated as the Man of the Year nominee.
Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year award for the 3rd year in a row. He's been nominated, by the way, and it's really cool. There were testimonials from his teammates with the Bucs who were speaking on his behalf and noting his generosity, and he got uncomfortable. He didn't know that was happening. They promoted it. There was a team video. He didn't know it. He committed over $100,000 in relief efforts when the pandemic hit. Going back to that, he raised $2.7 million for the World Health Organization. He's done things that have gone largely unnoticed, like buying lunch for an entire restaurant. And that's not the first time. He'll go in there and kind of that's cool. Like Shaq does stuff like that. That's the best. You're just walking in somewhere. Oh, what are you getting? Oh, really? I got you. That'd be fun. It'd be fun as hell. So he does those kinds of things. He also has an annual bowling and golf tournament and charitable gala. He endowed a scholarship at USF, helped families from Tampa to College Station, and on the list goes. Donated millions of dollars to the foundation that bears his name. You go look at that stuff. You just want to get in the holiday spirit. These kinds of stories exist as well alongside the NFL. Most of the time you're reading the stuff that doesn't. It's about a guy getting in trouble, a guy faking a vaccination card, a guy doing something stupid, all of that. And then there's this guy and others like him who take that position of power and wealth and fame and use it for something really, really good. Those stories are out there too. This one was in the Tampa Bay Times yesterday. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
This is Kyle, service manager from Barano Heating and Air. Schedule an appointment from your mobile device to learn about our Total Comfort Service program. With guaranteed same-day service, 15% off necessary repairs, and $25 berry bucks to use towards air filters and other products. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Any day, anytime, anywhere. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license CAC 1816-186.
There was a time when a person's word was enough, a time when a handshake meant something and integrity really mattered. Farm Bureau Insurance continues to live by these principles. That's our pledge, and it hasn't changed since the day we got started. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. I'm Andy Cohen with Florida Farm Bureau Insurance. Please call me at 850-671-FARM. That's 671-FARM. From Hurricane Kate to Hurricane Michael, Tallahassee has been through a lot, and we've been right here with you because helping you is what we do best.
Applications, onboarding, payroll, termination. Business owners and managers, these are the processes that take away too much time from what you do best. But what if there was a locally owned, responsive solution that would charge you a fraction of the big national payroll companies? Sound too good to be true? It's not. North Florida Payroll Services is Tallahassee owned for nearly 15 years. And in that time, their prices have never changed. The reason North Florida Payroll Services can do that? Exceptional customer service that constantly evolves with the latest technology. From application to termination, for turnkey service for your payroll and HR services, trust a Tallahassee expert and save yourself time and money. North Florida Payroll Services. Online at northfloridapayroll.com.
That is the smell of amazing barbecue from Highway 27 Grill and Barbecue. There's only one thing that could possibly make Kenny's Amazing Barbecue better, and that's an ice-cold adult beverage. Now you can do just that. Pair an ice-cold beer with all your Highway 27 Grill and Barbecue favorites. Highway 27 Grill and Barbecue, 1 mile north of Havana. Get your fill at the grill.
Hey parents, there's good news for America's future. Kids ages 5 to 11 are eligible for a COVID vaccine. Your future CEOs, artists, innovators, and more are eligible for a vaccine that can help protect their future. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Yep. So it is down to a business venture and or Florida State. So we'll see. Deep breaths, everybody. It's okay.
I mean, we got to get him. We got to get this guy. Marvin Jones Jr., Vince Tyre.
My favorite.
I don't know. I don't know which one I'd rather have.
I do. I want Marvin Jones Jr. I get long-term prognosis is probably more impacted by your AD, but
I don't know.
I'm a big fan of Marvin Jones Jr. I'd like to get him.
Breathing heavy over here. Like Vern in the 16 Tower.
The internet it's kind of, you guys got to remember it's kind of not what's real. Don't spend a lot of time worrying about the opinions of somebody on Facebook or Twitter, man. Our fan base is like, if we don't get them, we're going to be scoffed at. Not really. Not really.
Yeah, you're gonna go to work in the water cooler the next day. Guess what? Look at this Nole over here.
They didn't get that Vincent Tyre. Maybe we will, But guess what? That's not going to be talked about either. Nobody cares. I think we care, and I get that you care. The percentage of people commenting about the athletic director to be, whomever it may be, and their intimate knowledge of what that person can or cannot do or will not do while here is virtually zero. I mean, they don't know. They don't know. And if you get that guy and everybody goes, whew, thank goodness we got him. He could suck. He could suck. He could come here. He could be the worst hire of all time. Could get him. And you know what? Maybe you don't get him and maybe you're saved. Maybe you do get him and it's the greatest hire Florida State's made in the last 50 years, or at least post Dave Hart. I don't know.
It could be anybody. That's the same thing for any athletic director hire. Male or female, you can find them at level 8, and there's a scandal. Like, oh my God, what's going on at level 8 with the athletic director?
Apparently a lot of cocaine. Right. So I
didn't take the Miami job. You took the Florida State job. What's wrong with you?
The funny thing is I was talking to somebody in the business today who was talking about Radakovich taking that Miami job. And they were like, well, that's perceptionally, it looks good for Miami, but given that Radakovich is in his 60s and he's taking their money to retire, it's kind of funny. They're getting played. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that makes more sense then why he would want to leave Clemson, because you would never leave Clemson for Miami under any circumstance. I don't care if you love the University of Miami. You wouldn't do it.
Oh, yeah, you do it for the commute. This is where I live now. I live in Boca.
Yeah.
I don't even have to go to the office most days.
Specifically do it for the money, the gobs of money they're overpaying you as you drift off to retirement.
Folks, we're going to host these on Teams. My camera's not going to be active during these meetings, but please rest assured, I am listening to everything you say. I might look like I'm busy and doing something else.
Yeah, from Doral.
Yeah, right.
It may. You saw me at Doral. Business is done on the golf course, folks.
Right.
That's how this gets done.
So, Dan, your thoughts on that?
Whoosh.
What was that again?
In a moment. In the background, Ted, your turn.
Yeah, you broke up over there. One more time, please.
So that's for your own health. Just now, there would be a couple of guys that I would be very worried about if we were to hire. This isn't one of them. If we get him, we get him. If we don't, we don't. We'll continue to monitor that situation. But there would be a couple that I would probably have a much stronger opinion on, where I'd say that we screwed this up, or, oh my goodness, we really hit a home run here. There'd be a couple, but there aren't many. There aren't many in that world that are agreed upon, even by those people who have intimate knowledge of the work they did or did not do. That's the thing about when you're trying to assess an athletic director. A lot of this has to do with how many people do you know that worked directly with them or were affected by them at the places they worked. That's how you get a sense. I mean, you got to talk to coaches, you got to talk to personnel, you got to talk to the people who saw the day-to-day operations and knew who truly had the power. So, for example, the outside looking in for years at Florida State, you would look at Florida State's athletic directors and you may or may not thought they did a good job, but the truth is they really didn't have a ton of power. We know that because we're here. We're on the ground here. We know that the boosters controlled the real power plays in Tallahassee for the better part of 50 years. So we get into some good results and to some negative results. There were good and bad things about this. And so you really wouldn't know that if you weren't either a Nole or from here or tied into the program in some way. And that's true of ADs, for example, across the country where you have to get direct evidence that they were the ones. For example, you know who runs Alabama's athletic department? Nick Saban and nobody else. That's it. That's all. Nick Saban. Things get done according to Nick Saban. I like you, you stay. I don't, you're gone.
So quit asking.
Ask Dave Hart and Mal Moore. Hey, I like you, you stay. I don't, you're gone. Period. Ain't nobody else got it like that, but that's who he is. Hour number 2 forthcoming. Stay with.
More of the Jeff Cameron Show, live and local on Real Talk 93.3, WVFT, Greta, Tallahassee.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. The U.S. is expanding COVID-19 boosters, opening a third dose of Pfizer's vaccine to people as young as 16. The U.S. and many other nations already urge adults to get a booster to pump up their immunity months after the initial vaccination. In the U.S., the Pfizer vaccine is the only option for children and teenagers. Former Republican Senator and presidential candidate Bob Dole is lying in state at the U.S. Capitol. At a tribute earlier, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says Bob Dole was a man of public service.
Bob Dole knew exactly where he came from, a son of Dust Bowl hardship, who was laser focused on food security and rural issues.
President Biden also attending that tribute, calling Dole an American giant. Also at townhall.com, the Michigan School District, where 4 students died in a shooting, is being sued by parents.
An attorney for Jeffrey and Brandy France says 2 lawsuits seeking $100 million each have been filed in Detroit against the Oxford Community School District, the superintendent, the principal, and other staff at Oxford High School on behalf of their daughters as victims of the November 30th shooting. Riley, a senior at Oxford High, was shot in the neck, and her sister Bella, a 9th grader, was next to her when it happened. Suspect Ethan Crumley, a 15-year-old sophomore, has been charged as an adult. The day of the shooting, school officials met with Crumley and his parents after a teacher found a disturbing drawing. Personal injury lawyers have expressed doubt that the district could be successfully sued. That's because Michigan law sets a high bar for liability for public schools and other arms of government. I'm Jennifer King.
Oklahoma executing a man for the 1985 shooting death of an Oklahoma City area school teacher. 79-year-old Bigler Stouffer II received the 3-drug lethal injection for the death of Linda Reeves. The Dow was up 80 points, but the NASDAQ is down 172. More at townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 3388 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 3388. Enjoy.
Siri, tell me a joke. The past, present, and future walk into a bar. It was tense.
All jokes aside, the trained professionals at Mac & More Systems are serious about Apple products. For all your Mac repairs, call Mac & More Systems at 894-3622. 894-3622.
Let's be honest, we all have way too much stuff. Maybe your storage closet is full, your garage is full, or the guest bedroom is a mess. Call Southeast Portable Buildings, 580-6400, or visit them online at southeastportablebuildings.com.
Y'all want more energy, more strength, more results? Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
prepare your vacation and to look for a new coach, at least in the case of Minnesota. That would not be true in Pittsburgh, but does it look like Dalvin Cook will make his return tonight? That's good. But a game that really didn't seem to have much intrigue has twisted to a place where I think it does, if only because, again, all that I mentioned there, it's win or go home, really, for these two teams tonight. So I'm kind of curious. As for Florida State and recruiting, not much today. Obviously, every day I would invite you to go to warchant.com, check in on Michael Langston. Speaking of which, Tom, you told me before the show, it's a little get-together this evening to talk recruiting on Warchant TV.
That is correct. It's going to be at 7 o'clock tonight. It is a live recruiting chat right here on Warchant TV. If you're new to Warchant TV, they do this all the time, and there will be a lot of Michael-based content for recruiting, analysis, and breakdowns.
You won't be willy-nilly like mine yesterday.
Well, you were definitive, but
I did have we locked it in, right? That turned out to be exactly what happened.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of gaslighting in general, but yesterday with the recruiting, we had a little bit of fun with it. Mike will have some of the real information. I'm just double-checking that time.
What do you mean
the
real information? I felt pretty good about where I was steering everybody yesterday. I still do. I feel like that's locked in.
I'm sure you felt good about it.
I think it's great. I think it's locked in. We got him. He had a good day here yesterday.
It is 7 o'clock tonight right here on Warchant TV, so make sure to set a reminder.
And there's more where that came from. They'll be doing some more after that, not just tonight.
Oh, yeah, Monday night.
Yeah, what I tell you, there's
chat.
more where that came from.
Yeah, and then on Wednesday, we can go full on that.
So 7 a.m. all the way through the show on Wednesday and beyond.
Yeah, 8. Yeah, we'll start at 8, 7 Central, but you must be on Central time. But,
well, I just wanted people to get their seats early.
That's right.
Get locked in.
There's only a finite amount of people who can watch this broadcast, so get in. That's not true. But Warchant TV, Monday night for the pre-show, and then Wednesday is the big day, 8 a.m. through 3 p.m., If Mike has a presser at 3:05, we'll keep it live after that as well. But it's a one-stop shop. So if you join the Warchant National Signing Day Live, sponsored by ABC Fine Wine and Spirits,
boom,
you will be where you need to be for us at 1 o'clock because it's all going to be in the same place. Be a fun day.
That is going to be fun, and we are anxiously awaiting signing day. All jokes aside, it does matter greatly. Obviously, every recruiting class is important to your future success. We all know that as the lifeblood of how programs, the ebbs and flow of success or lack thereof, depending on the players, got to have good ones, and Florida State needs a lot of good ones and a lot of turnover and a lot of kids to be told, have a good day, hit that transfer portal, baby. You suck. Hit that portal. Go play elsewhere where your skills are requisite to the team name, say like Marshall. So there was that. There's that. No, that's not an offense to Marshall. I'm just saying at different levels. So we need more of those guys to enter the portal.
That, you know what? They've done a good job ever since they got rid of Larry Culpepper over the Dr. Pepper commercials. Have you seen the transfer portal one this season?
Yeah, where the punter comes out and the other kid goes in.
The other kid's like, my time is now.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
just jumps in. Yeah. Well done.
You know what else is happening right now? Perhaps. Are we still on plane watch? I am. Let's see. I get any updates here? Let's get an update on
this. Is happening for real. He showed me the plane.
Yeah.
Well, the graphic of the plane.
Yeah. Well, where they were at that exact moment.
It's the map. He's looking at the tracker.
Let's see here. I'm checking the tracker.
Oh man, this is riveting. Come on, say it's in the air.
I don't have no.
Renegade 1 is in the air. Renegade 1 is in the air.
Hey, before we went on the air just now, they had not left yet. What stinks about this is
how many things you have to click through to get to the flight?
No, I'm looking at estimated time of arrival. So they were going to be making their way back to Tallahassee at around 4 o'clock, but now it's later. So I don't know. I'll refresh during the break, Tom. I'll get an update. I don't know. Hey, I understand why it would be delayed. Negotiating terms, all that good stuff. In the interim, what ended up happening was the whirlwind of emotions that people have when they attach themselves to an AD search, and the live and die aspect of that, I guess, is that you hear that you got played, that you were used as leverage for negotiation, and then you feel belittled, so you voice your concerns on Twitter or wherever, and you're angry about it. You're angry. Furious.
I see Ryan is commenting with lemon. That was process one.
Yeah, that is process one. So then you find out, well, maybe hold on. Maybe my outrage was for naught. Maybe I overreacted. Seems that he's not staying at Louisville, as he's resigned his post at Louisville. Maybe he's coming to Florida State after all. I need to know answers. Who should I be outraged with?
I think after the break is over, and we don't have to go anytime soon, but when you get that information, we can bring back an old standby from the old days.
It's update time for that ass. Oh, man, update time for that ass. We have not heard it in some time. Can I still hit it? It's update time for that ass. Oh, a little break. Update time for that ass. It's update time for that ass.
That's better.
That's better. Yeah, I carried it. A little bit there. Yeah, that was fun. I remember.
Don't try that after too many single malts.
It becomes a very scratchy Tom Waits version of update time for that ass. It's update time for that ass. It's update time. Would you want Thibodeau, Neal, Hutchinson, or one of the others that are in contention, Derek Stingley Jr., people like, who do you want in Tampa? We won't have a shot at any of those guys.
No.
But the reason I bring it up, I thought I'd tickle the fancy. The mocks are happening. The mocks are happening as we get closer to January. The mocks begin to spring forth. It's the season of the mock where we can have a blast making fun of all of this.
Yeah, I got to go grab draft analysis. I never expected draft analysis.
We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. I'm just noting that I saw today, I just was hanging out, looking around. What do we got here? What do we got here? Oh, look at that. There's Chris Olave. Who's he going to? Oh, this is a mock.
That's right. Yeah, PFF says that Olave is coming to Tampa so they can jettison some of their receivers and save some money.
Good luck. Olave is going to go top 17.
Not according to PFF. PFF has him going in the high 20s, low 30s.
Okay. All right. I'm there for that. I was surprised.
Olave Maria. That's what Berman would have called him.
Do you feel like somebody's going to go, I have to have Malik Willis? The Bucs aren't. But do you think somebody's going to do that and you're going to go, what? Really? We're reaching for Malik Willis in the first round from Liberty?
I already have. Watching the Syracuse-Liberty game and lead up to the Syracuse-Florida State game.
No.
I said, wait a minute. And they put it on the bottom line that game that this is Mel Kiper's number one quarterback at the time. Number one dual threat quarterback. I was like, what is this? The ghost of Brett Hundley is back?
No.
God, he can make really good throws, but okay. It's not like he lit up Syracuse's defense.
It didn't let up much of anything. They were 7-5. They weren't good.
Good friend of mine used to say, I'm saying
I'm really looking for Matt Corral to see where he goes. Somebody is going to overextend themselves for Matt Corral as well. Probably Pickett too.
Big board.
Yeah. We'll have plenty of time to get to that. Today's not the day per se. It's just something to note that the first of those are out there. And I started getting giddy going, oh, if one's out, that means there'll be another 20 in the next 3 weeks because they all try to keep up with each other and one up each other. And soon they'll start introducing imaginary trades. Yay, imaginary trades. Is there anything better? Then you get into the great debate about how that trade affects the rest of the draft, but it's all make-believe. The trade never happened. And it's an intense argument about why that trade made sense or didn't.
Yeah, and there was a time, briefly albeit, in which these trades were introduced at other websites and media outlets, and Kiper and McShay said, we would never do that. That's ridiculous. As if mocking isn't already ridiculous after you get past, I don't know, pick 15. But then they did. They caved. The executives got to him. They said, we need trades. We got to have trades. Have you seen the traffic on Big Board 3.2?
Yeah, and I would tell you right now that if this is what you had to do for a living, was to have a mock 100 and something days out or 200 days out from the draft, let's say, you would welcome the moment that your boss has said, hey, listen, if you guys want to work in some trades, oh, now we are all in on make-believe. This is good. Now, this is good. This I can do. This is a lot different. Now people know we're not even taking ourselves serious. If I tell you that the Dolphins have introduced a trade at pick 18 to swap out with a second rounder from Washington, now you know I'm full of, that's insane at that point. You're only just playing along because it's like this great make-believe
they wanted
soap opera.
Heineke. Can you believe it? Taylor Heineke is a Miami Dolphin.
I would take so much joy in just bastardizing the process. They're like, all right, Cameron, we're going to allow you one trade. You get now make it realistic, please, as realistic as possible. Oh, sure, by all means. I would throw some crazy, and then you would all have to react. Here goes Cameron again. He's got Seattle drafting a kicker. And he's written a very long diatribe about why it was
Yeah.
necessary. And now I've got to counter this somehow.
The Buccaneers have traded up to 7. Remember, New England got that from an earlier trade from McShay.
Big trade.
Yeah,
big trade
with
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah, huge trade.
So the Patriots pick from Chicago has now been traded to Tampa as Tom Brady is
What a
going
move.
back to New England
What a move.
in exchange for Mac Jones, 2 first-round picks, and a defender.
I wanted to note something that happened, believe it or not, in the association last night, and it was that Steph hit the requisite number of threes to move on up the all-time list, right? And it's he broke Ray Allen's NBA career three-point record. Did you know that?
Yeah, I know he was trying to hit the 16 or 17 necessary in one game to get it done. That was an article that I saw
Previous. Yeah, he
had
had 6 triples in their win over Portland at the Chase Center last night, and he needs just 10 3-pointers to eclipse Allen in the NBA record books all time. Yeah, on down the list we go, right? So people noted that it won't last. And there has quietly been a transformation of what's possible in the NBA in regards to the three-point shot. But there is a better article, and that's why I won't dwell on this. I just want to point you towards it because I think it's fascinating, of how he was able to transform himself from an undersized guard that might be a nice player due to vision, intelligence, and all of that into, I think the article refers to him as an alien. I find all that fascinating in that in any sport, you don't even have to like the NBA or you could love it. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is when you find somebody who transcends the sport and changes the way the game is played and or practiced and or thought about in any sport, then you're lucky to have been living during that lifetime, right? It's when you get old and you reflect on the players that you saw, who were the preternatural freaks, who were the ones that changed the game forever,
Corey Harris,
or what were the rules that changed the game forever, right? And we our former place of employment, we frequently talked with a consultant.
Yeah.
Who
he may have been the character who said, "I'm paying attention to you, trust me."
Yeah.
I'm listening to every word.
But his argument, he was a all things Philadelphia guy, was that Wilt Chamberlain was the more impactful athlete, as opposed to say Jordan or somebody else on that list, because they actually had to change the rules because of Wilt Chamberlain, right? And it's a compelling point. And
right.
We can go back through and talk about
Tiger Woods, tiger proofing
courses, right? But I was thinking about it today with the Steph stuff that, and this is in your lifetime, but in my lifetime, I watched it all happen with Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan, transformative players, those kinds of things. Now Steph, and then go ahead.
When you were first watching basketball, were 3-pointers allowed?
Yes.
No, that wasn't even a joke.
Well, Larry Bird was a very good, BJ Armstrong with the Bulls and guys like that. Yeah, those were 3-point guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just wondering when the 3-pointer was actually instituted. It might, because it could have been the 70s. I'm not even trying to be a jerk there.
No, pull up when it was. Here you go. I'll do it for you. I wanted to know when it was. Well, it's been moved. You know that.
Oh, definitely. They need to be more aggressive about it now.
79-80 season.
Okay, so,
so it was the
first
rookie,
NBA games.
What was the rookie year for Larry Bird and Magic Johnson? Now, I didn't start. You got to remember, the NBA in the 70s was a tape-delayed league. People didn't watch it. It's well documented. It was a league of a lot of drug addiction and a lot of shakiness. It didn't take off. I mean, it's hard to imagine where the NBA is now compared to where it was in the 70s. So it wasn't on my radar, really, basically, in a lot of ways, and this is also, you can find any number of documentaries that have pointed this out. In a lot of ways, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, the rivalry, those two guys, those two dear friends, as it turned out, saved the NBA in a lot of ways. I mean, there are other, obviously more meaningful players in the history of the game. Not many, but that is, that did change things. And then, of course, it helped that not long after that, Michael Jordan came along and changed the game. But in my lifetime, and now I never thought, after a long period of time, when you go through that stretch and you see a Shaq and then the comparisons of the greatest centers of all time, whether it be Kareem or Bill Russell or Wilt Chamberlain and all those guys, right? Like when you would hear those references, I certainly didn't see Bill Russell play, but I saw Kareem, obviously saw Shaq, and going down the list. I would always think, I wonder, how good so-and-so would have been in this era, how you do that. But there's significance. I didn't think that post Michael Jordan, I knew there'd be other great players who were like Michael Jordan and that he wasn't a freak in the sense that he was physically different than some other great players. He was more intense. He was better at a lot of things. But, I figured, okay, so seeing LeBron come along is not stunning. In a weird way, Steph is more stunning and impactful to the game of basketball than anybody post Mike. And that's really bizarre to think about.
Yeah, I think
KD, and of course Dirk Nowitzki,
Yeah.
the big men playing out on the perimeter changed the game that way. Yes,
that changed positions, but
positions, right?
Well,
but the shooting
Steph
prowess
arrived at the right time too with analytics. Like if you timestamp it and say, why was he the right player for the right time? Because also teams are looking at what's the more valuable shot. The 18-footer, which was the lost art of the mid-range jumper, which was always the cliche on NBA and NBC when I was growing up. Like, that's what the game's about, the mid-range jumper. And people finally look at the numbers. They say, that's stupid. That's the worst shot you can take. It happens at the exact same time the Splash Brothers are being born out in Golden State.
But in terms of the shooting prowess, the ability to make shots from anywhere on the floor, half court in, that just did not exist. It wasn't a thing. People didn't take the shots that Steph takes. They didn't. Because if you did, you'd get benched. If you just come across the timeline and foist a three, sit your ass. What, have you lost your mind? But he makes an inordinate percentage of those shots. So he becomes unguardable because you can only extend so far without opening up other elements of the court. That's why it's a transcendent moment. He becomes this player that we've never seen before, so we got to witness it. And I just say, always appreciate when you see that. It's true of any sport. When you see it in baseball, when you see it in football, where somebody comes along and you're like, that's different. It's never been done before. Now players are going to emulate that. And you're going to see a sea change. You're going to see 20 years from this moment, a bevy of kids coming out of college will be able to shoot like that.
I'd never seen 28-3 before. Just amazing things.
He just wanted to take a shot at the Falcons.
I don't know why.
That's weird.
I like the Hawks fine.
Maybe
I just stared at that. I'm like,
Nobody has a problem with the Hawks.
Nobody
the Hawks.
does.
They've
Nobody
been
has a
useless
problem.
forever.
And they got back to the good logo.
Yeah.
That one where it was like kind of gold and navy, and it made no sense.
No. But it's hard to I'm not passionate about the Hawks. It's just an incredibly comfortable
It
sweatshirt.
looks great.
It's a really comfortable sweatshirt.
I know everybody complains on the chat and stuff
That
about
it's orange. I think it's orange.
It's not. It's red.
It's red.
There's nothing we could do about
the
that.
lighting always. When I wear garnet, it's red. It's
Yeah.
weird. You can't.
Yeah, orange. Yeah.
It's orange. Chef Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio Warchant TV. At ISF, know you want to do amazing things. You have big ideas and goals for the future. For over 40 years, ISF has focused on solving the future for state government through strategy, process, and technology. As a national management and IT consulting firm, ISF has the expertise to transform strategies, refine processes, and implement solutions to lead you in today's changing environment. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Help Christmas Connection bring Christmas joy to children and families in need. This year more than ever, give a gift, make a donation, or volunteer your time. Tallahassee Family Magazine and these local businesses have teamed up to bring you this message. Gain Street Pies, Wooden Glass, Sellers in Tallahassee, and Truck and Car Concepts. Be a helper. Help Christmas Connection bring Christmas joy to families in need. Learn how at helpchristmasconnection.com.
This is Kyle, Service Manager from Barano Heating and Air. Schedule an appointment from your mobile device to learn about our Total Comfort Service Program. With guaranteed same-day service, 15% off necessary repairs, and $25 berry books to use towards air filters and other products. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Any day, anytime, anywhere. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license CAC 1816-186.
If you know me, you know how I feel about supporting local. You also know that I love dad jokes. So it really bugs me when somebody I know calls anyone other than Paul's Termite and Pest Control. This year marks 50 years that Paul's has been servicing our community as a family-owned business. That really means something. All treatment decisions are made right here, not some corporate headquarters 100 miles away, but right here. Local knowledge means they know exactly when and how to beat certain issues that are unique to our region. All decisions about North Florida made by North Floridians, and being local doesn't always mean small. Paul's is the largest locally owned termite pest and lawn company in the region, but you'll always get the small town treatment and quick service also. Paul's offers a same-day treatment guarantee if you call by noon. If you see something in the morning that's not supposed to be in your house, call Paul's and they'll get them all that same afternoon. It's that easy. For the elimination of termites or any other pest, and for a greener lawn too, visit callpauls.com.
Hi, Chris Kraft for the Kraft Brothers dealerships. By now, we've all heard that used car prices are through the roof. So your car, yes, the car you are probably driving right now, is worth more at Kraft Nissan Infiniti than anywhere else in North Florida. Every day we buy cars from customers, or they trade up. They come into our dealerships telling us that dealers offer them over Kelley Blue Book price. Forget that. At Kraft, we threw out the Kelley Blue Book prices months ago. With over 100 years combined experience, our appraisers know the market. And they offer you the right price, which is always more money than you'd get anywhere else. So you can sell Kraft your car for holiday cash right now, or get maximum savings when you trade in for a new car. Why right now? Because on January 1st, your car has a birthday, is officially a year older. So I've challenged the Kraft appraisers to raise the roof on appraisals. So you see, we get a big factory bonus if we sell 200 more cars by year end, and we're close. It's simple. You buy from us, and we share our year-end bonus with you in the form of higher trade-in prices and bigger discounts. But you better hurry, because time is ticking on 2021. Kraft Nissan and Infiniti, both on Mahan Drive.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Completely understand why I'm reading from this. Also, because it's a short segment. Shortly thereafter, we will solve for the future with our friends from ISF. In the interim, I tell you about a dream that someday I will be one who stumbles across such a find. Of course, sometimes it's in reference to a very vital piece of history that is discovered at a garage sale, in which somebody becomes an instant multimillionaire because they thought something was a little off about that painting. Turns out it is, a rare Van Gogh or something, right? And it's going to happen. You're going to think, because I'm getting older, Jeff, you just started stopping into garage sales and the like, or antique shops like old people
Admit it, you've been tempted.
tend to do.
You've been
I'm
tempted.
looking for the next great rare find. I take a quick cursory glance to see if anything stands out. Oh, somebody has screwed around and dropped off a Monet for $3. Yeah, so you're always looking for things like this if you're lucky, right? But this is even cooler when people stumble across this, like, hey, let's go to the river, Johnny. All right, a day on the river would be a good time. We'll jump in the inner tube and grab us some cold ones. And hey, what's that shining in the corner?
It's Jimmy Hoffa.
Now that would be a cool find. How can you recognize him from his skeleton? Just a hunch. We are in Jersey. A hoard of 5,600 silver coins from the Roman Empire dating back over 2,000 years has been found in a German river. Well, there it is. How about them apples? Look at this. The Augsburg Art Collection and Museum said in a statement the discovery was the largest such find in the southern German state of Bavaria. The silver coins minted in the denarii Roman currency were discovered in an old gravel riverbed near the location of what was once an old Roman military base. The coins weigh 33 pounds in total, were discovered during excavation work after floods in the small town of Warchant flushed them out. Statement said that the oldest of the coins were minted under Emperor Nero.
Oh my.
AD 54. And the most recently minted under Septimius. You remember Septimius.
Oh, how couldn't I?
shortly after AD 200. Coins are being analyzed at a university, according to the statement nearby. A soldier earned between 375 and 500 denarii in the early 3rd century. The treasure, therefore, is the equivalent of about 11 to 15 annual salaries for the soldiers. The head of the city archaeology in Augsburg is quoted as saying, Augsburg's rich history just got richer. Again, the importance of Augsburg during the Roman times has been made abundantly clear, and this makes it even clearer. So apparently there are arguments about just how vital the area really was, Tom. Can you imagine those elitist debates?
Yes, this person is really fighting for Augsburg the way that the Newport Beach people fought for Newport Beach when we were in Newport Beach.
You don't have to fight hard to convince somebody to live in Newport Beach. You just have to give them a salary that would allow them to live in Newport Beach.
What is it? You just need something to do.
Yeah,
because
those two ladies who wanted to come on the show and talk to us about the benefits of living in Newport, I remember looking at one of them 30 seconds in going, no, I've been around. Are you going to pay me $1 million per? By all means, I'm moving to Newport Beach.
Listen, you need to hear about Bentleys. They are amazing cars. Fantastic.
Archaeologists also discovered coins mixed in Hadrian and Pius and Marcus Aurelius. There you go, Tom. Your favorite.
The Butcher of Venice.
As well as coins from the era of Julius. Was only an emperor for 9 weeks before that guy was murdered. 9 weeks into his run, they said, we've had enough of you. We're going to call it a day. And they killed him. Previous ancient discoveries in the area have included weapons and other coins, as well as transport vessels.
I think we should give our wealth back. I think we need to get rid of this one.
You gotta get rid of
the
this
senators
guy.
are all saying, what is going on here?
This guy's going to die tomorrow. Troops in the area back when they were built up during the infrastructure building it is said that those were coins that were meant to pay them while they were, having a tough time digging. A whole lot of digging, Tom. I bet they got very little rest. Here's some coins.
They were 33 pounds. How many coins were there, did you say?
Let me scroll back up here to the top of the story. There were 33 pounds.
It was at the very, very beginning. You said the purse was found with
5,600 on the nose.
My goodness.
5,600 silver coins dating back over 2,000 years. So this one doesn't bother me as much as some of the others. And by bother, I mean I'm just envious. I want to find such things. I've always wanted to. I'm forever just kind of looking around, much to the dismay of my family when they glance over. What are you doing, Dad? Looking for old stuff. Don't worry about it. Swim on, children. I'm sure something valuable is under this rock right here. Oh, it's not. It's just a salamander.
I'm telling you, you're going to be the one.
There's value in a salamander.
There always is. Yeah. Look at them. They're just pleasant.
Look at those things.
It's like, hey,
snake lizard.
We're getting to the part of the year where the old man and that's becoming ever more present in me. The trees have lost their leaves. I'm about to see a cardinal in about 2 months.
Here we
I'm
go.
about to see a cardinal amongst
go.
The brown tree branches.
Come in tomorrow on a Libations Friday, and we'll talk about the weather. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
Local news now.
Flu season is now underway, and while one wave is behind us, doctors worry another could follow. Health experts are now encouraging everyone to get a flu shot before cases surge again. Doctors at Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare say there was a fairly significant spike in the number of flu cases in the area, especially among college students. Those numbers have gone down, but doctors say it's a long flu season and we could see another spike. TMH doctors say they are seeing a lot of patients with respiratory illness symptoms like coughing, sore throats, and headaches. Doctors say the flu shot is the best protection against the infection and can prevent serious symptoms if you contract the virus. City Commissioner Jack Porter wants to get the community together in a town hall to talk about the future of the old Tallahassee Police Department. The new headquarters is in the process of being built at the old Northwood Center. Porter said TPD's old 7th Avenue location is prime real estate, and the community should dream big since it's their tax dollars at work. The town hall meeting is happening on December 16th at 7 p.m. on Zoom. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by McKenzie Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at McKenzieSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Cloudy skies this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 70. Winds out of the southeast around 5 miles per hour. Slight chance for scattered rain showers tonight. Lows dip down to about 61. Cloudy skies expected. Cloudy skies expected again tomorrow. Scattered thunderstorms likely. Daytime highs approaching 78. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 60.
Where is the best place to find Michelin, Firestone, Dunlop, Goodyear, and Bridgestone tires? Nice Tire and Auto Service. Where's the best full-service auto center? Nice Tire and Auto Service. They do everything from computerized alignments to brakes, tune-ups, and safety inspections. Where can you get complete auto service you can trust? That's easy. Nice Tire and Auto Service. 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
Hold on, Tom. Is that Eddie again?
Feliz Navidad.
It is.
Prospero año y felicidad. Hey, what's up, guys? What are you doing?
Back on the golf course, Eddie? You don't play. Are you playing?
No, man. You know me. I don't know the difference between a 4-iron and a cesta. But
different sports.
I'm out here giving out gift cards, man. I'm delivering some gift cards for people for Christmas. So make sure you come get your gift cards. Call up, order them up. We can get them to you.
Greatest gift to open, especially, I think, out of a stocking.
Ooh,
stocking gift card from Gordo's or Bumpus is where it's at.
Hey, we like pantyhose, stockings, anything you got. We'll put them in there, baby.
Let's try to keep it clean. Take care of your town and your people like you do, Eddie. I'll take one of those gift cards. Thanks, brother.
You bet. You know, if you could wish for anything, Jeff, what would it be?
World peace. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
It's Congressman Michael Waltz on the Greg Tish Show.
Good morning, Congressman. How are you doing?
Hey, doing well.
Again, just what you have to go through day in and day out. I don't know how you have hair left, or like Matty Rowe, just completely bald.
Hey!
Sorry.
And the irony of it all, the progressives are the tail wagging the dog. This whole bipartisan White House is a joke. We're just watching them eat their own.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jammin' Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Seven, 8 minutes. And still others will scream bloody murder. But this will be part of our solving for the future. Very good timing. It's almost like we planned it this way. How about that? An announcement made while we're on the show, which is always good. Again, we'll get into more details momentarily as Ira Chappelle will join us to talk about the naming of Michael Alford as the next athletic director at Florida State. He's going to want to do amazing things, just like you do. You have big visions and goals for the future. Work hard. You work very hard to move your agency forward while navigating all of the unique challenges which are inherent in government operations. And ISF, our partners here on the Jeff Cameron Show, they understand that. They're an IT and strategy firm. 40 years they've served state and government and business clients, not just here locally in Tallahassee, but across the nation. They're experts in government processes. They have worked with government agencies across the country. They've had unmatched expertise in developing strategies. That's good. They help state governments solve the future through strategy, process, and technology. And I think, you can go back, you can read this stuff, go check them out, isf.com. You can learn a lot more about what their clients do and what they use and what they rely on ISF for. But they certainly help advise, protect, and advance their business and technology objectives, and they help solve the future. That's why this segment is called that. ISF, solving the future for 40 years. Florida State will ask Michael Alford to do that. And we remember originally that first time you may have heard his name was when Seminole Boosters, Inc. announced that he was the organization's new CEO. That was dating back to, I think that was July of 2020, Tom. And served as Associate Vice President and Athletic Director at the University of Central Michigan. So he has athletic director experience, which I thought was vital to whomever came in here to be the AD. I wanted somebody who had experience making those kinds of decisions. Doesn't mean it will work out. Doesn't mean it won't, but you want somebody who's had to pull the trigger on major decisions and be in charge and be responsible for the results, for the decision and the result. You wanted somebody to have to answer to that and know what that is, the weight of that, somebody who has a vision. And Alford was somebody who had to do that, as I mentioned, at the University of Central Michigan. He's a former student athlete to boot. Obviously, that comes with it perspective, an athlete's perspective. And, of course, he's had to be involved in fundraising in prior stops. Every athletic director does now. It's a vital part of what they do, but he did it for Florida State since 2020 as well. And so it is that he now becomes the athletic director. That would seem to me to mean that Vincent Tyree decided to take a run out of business opportunity because he resigned as athletic director at Louisville. How about Louisville today, just as an aside, losing their president and athletic director in one fell swoop? Fascinating.
That's been a busy day for them. And you think about, you talked about the machinations that a coach would go through mentally for what's happening here in Tallahassee.
Mm-hmm.
How about if you're a coach or an administrator of any kind? You'd be the provost and you'd be saying, what's going on here?
Yeah, and going back in terms of the resume, Alford took over at Central Michigan after serving as a associate athletics director for administration and development at the University of Oklahoma. Did that for 5 years, 2012 to 2017. He is credited with planning and managing a $160 million in-zone facility project, leading several capital campaigns, including one for a $7 million basketball performance center, which opened in 2018. He was a senior director for corporate partnerships and sales for the Dallas Cowboys. Did that from 2008 through 2012. He was a GM of Crimson Tide Sports Marketing at the University of Alabama from 2004 to 2008. He worked for ESPN. He worked for Southern Cal. He worked for the Cincinnati Bengals. He worked for the University of Cincinnati. So that is the backdrop. That is the experience. He was a student athlete at Mississippi State University and the University of Alabama at Birmingham. So just refreshing the resume for those that want to know what the experience level is, who he is, and how he got here.
And we have received the release from Florida State in our emails as well with the proper, as you would say, introductions and quotes. We're so excited. I'm so thrilled. The typical things that you would see in a press release.
Yep,
so
looking at it right now.
They were drafting, I guess, in the last hour or two? I'd want to know when they knew, and I guess we'll find out here pretty shortly when they hold a press conference.
Well, when the plane didn't take off from Stewart, they knew.
Right,
I'll tell you that much. Alford's term will begin January the 3rd, and a national search will be launched for a new president and CEO of Seminole Boosters, although I think I know who that's going to be. We'll have that discussion later on.
Yeah, hashtag grooming, right?
That's correct. I just went through the resume from the previous stops, so we got you caught up there. Not much more to say about it, but somebody familiar and intimate with the job at hand and those that are in power or those that need to be replaced and or boosted, given more responsibility. I think you could look at it a lot of different ways. So, it's all right. There it is.
Yeah, for me, I'd say, the number one thing that I want, no matter who was going to be the athletic director, to solve for the future, right?
Mm-hmm.
To solve for the future as ISF does for your business and or government organization today. I want shiny things. I want buildings. I want brick and mortar. That's what needs to get
raising
done.
the money to do that.
So he should have a head start to that end. Now, hopefully he can implement a greater vision in order to find more ways to generate more dollars. But that's what we need at this university right now.
Well, you expedite the process by hiring Alford. Okay, that was the benefit of him being named the AD, was that here's a guy that has already had to get a lay of the land, to know who's who, what's what needs repair, what needs to be better, what needs to be more efficient, ways in which to obviously incorporate monies from a lot of the things that go on outside, let's say, the football program or anything else. I mean, there are events that go on all over the state of Florida, and you can find out which ones are properly raising money, which ones lose money, and which ones need to be done away with, and what you can do to add more. So, that I do think, not unlike you talk about with a head coach in waiting, getting a lay of the land is never a bad thing. Let's bring in our own Ira Shafel, who I imagine is grateful this is all over with and we don't have to plane watch or anything else. There you go, Ira. How are you, brother?
I'm good, Jeff. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. So it's over. Alford, who will have an intimate understanding of what needs to be done and who's who and what's what, right? So that's the direction they go.
Yeah, I mean, look, there were a lot of people around the program and supporters of the program who were not happy that he wasn't the first person offered the job or the first person that they were going with. And there's a lot of people. He's been here for a year and a half now. He's done a lot of really good things with Seminole boosters. As you said, he's very connected in college athletics. I mean, that was the one probably thing people wondered about with the choice if it was Vince Tyree, who we thought it was going to be, that he didn't have quite as much experience in athletics. Michael Alford previously has worked at Oklahoma and Alabama, and he's been in college athletics for a long time. He's also been in pro sports, but he's been in college athletics a long time. And he's been at Florida State for a year and a half, so he has the lay of the land. He's made a lot of connections, and a lot of donors really like him. And so from that standpoint, it's not surprising. I mean, this is kind of the person a lot of people thought it was going to be in the first place. It's just kind of crazy how it came together here in the last couple of days.
Yeah, and I'm just glad that the hiring process is over because it does meet, at least personally, something that I wanted to see happen for whatever that is worth. Not much. Somebody who had experience as a sitting AD, and he does. He had to make big decisions to help push CMU into the future, and it worked out very, very well. Now Florida State's a different animal, but you have to be bold, and you have to have a vision, and you have to make decisions that you're accountable for when you sit in that seat. And he has done that. And like you say, having a lay of the land, now that he has real power, it'll be interesting to see what kind of changes he wants to make, because no doubt he's been assessing this whole time.
Yeah, and I think that's where he was given a task when he came in as CEO of Seminole Boosters to kind of bring that organization into the maybe into the 21st century or, just to modernize it. Yeah. And he's done that. And, at the same time, he's been working hand in hand with David Coburn on some of the big picture things and decisions and where the athletics department needs to go. He's been kind of the point person behind the renovations that they wanted to do at Campbell Stadium. He was part of the process with David Coburn and John Thrasher getting that $20 million I would say gift, but investment from the city and the county. So he's been since he's been here, he's been part of all these key things that they've been working on. So yeah, from that standpoint, it's definitely gonna be seamless. And then, like you said, he has sat in the big chair before, and he's also been, the number 2 or number 3 guy. He's been a high-ranking official at programs like Oklahoma and Alabama. I think he was at Southern Cal. I mean, he's been at several prestigious schools before. So, he knows, he's very familiar, and he's been on national committees, and, he's as connected with all of those kinds of people as you would want your AD to be.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you've had a glimpse of Alabama and Oklahoma as well as the Dallas Cowboys, you'd like to think that what was gleaned was an awful lot of information about how the most successful operations in the sporting world work when they're operating at peak efficiency, right? Now, getting there is a different matter, and there are always a different set of challenges every place you go to, but knowing what that looks like can be very important.
Yeah, and I think the big, I don't say question, but I think one of the things that it's going to be interesting to watch, I know you touched on it some on your show, is just, like any organization, when you have new leadership, everybody has to see how they respond to that. And so now you have a lot of coaches who have a new boss, you have a lot of employees who have a new boss. And so even though he's been here and he's been here for a year and a half, I don't think it could be seamless from the standpoint of him understanding the issues. But he's going to have his own direction of things he wants to do. And frankly, some of the coaches, it may not be what they want. I mean, there could be a lot to unpack here over the next few months or the next year or so as everybody kind of figures out a new direction. But as I talked about last week, and we've been talking about throughout this whole process, at least there is a direction now, and they know where the university, where the athletics department wants to go. And then it's up to everybody else whether they want to be part of that and whether or not he wants them to be part of that.
Brother, I appreciate it. Relax, if you will. I know you still have plenty of writing to do, but we don't have to hunt down planes and have secret meetings. So be good, brother. I'll talk to you later.
See you, man.
Yeah. It's Irish Fell, Warchant.com. No, it's good that he got a chance to see what was working and what wasn't. Like Ira just alluded to, I think it's interesting. There are a lot of people who still remain nervous. There are some who feel real good about the relationship they've built with Michael Alford over the time of the last year and a half. There are others who think, oh boy, this is my final week. And so you just don't know who, and you don't know when. But you do know now that the responsibility shifts from solely raising money with the boosters and reaching out, shaking the right hands, and ingratiating yourself to other forms of revenue streams and people that can help out with that, to now I can execute a vision that I think any of these guys in that position have always had, especially if they dreamt to be back in the chair as an athletic director, which no doubt I think he did. I think, and it's speculative on my part, that you would come here to be head of the boosters while also taking a look at the situation at athletic director and recognize that you had a resume that was better than that of the existing athletic director. And you would say to yourself, well, that may work out in my favor. So surely he had an idea that at some point he might be in a position to do what has happened here today, which is take over as the athletic director at Florida State, which means that had he had such vision, which again, I guess that he did, you would had to have had a plan in your mind of what you would do. Now, some of it you have to confront when you get here and find out what's working, what's efficient, what isn't. But the overall vision, it was something that was brought on, I think, over the, calculations that take place over years and years and years of working in the field and learning.
Yeah, what gets interesting here is how the dynamics of some relationships are going to change. You're talking about maybe personnel decisions, but it's very different to raise money for coaches than to dictate to coaches.
Correct.
So that's next, and those relationships are going to change fundamentally.
Yes. Some for the better, some for the worse.
Right. Now, if you're an optimist about this particular hire, you would say this is akin to Jimbo Fisher being a head coach in waiting and forming relationships before he took over as the head man, and that's the way it's going to work here. As I said, just the number one thing for me, you got to get that football-only facility going. We have to see, the shovels in the ground. Let's go. Start erecting that particular building. From there, there are some other things that we really want. More wants than needs, but a new baseball stadium would be nice in the near future. But you've got to secure a lot of money. And the great thing is that at this point, Alford has been exposed to everybody in the FSU community, including that NIL program. Former board of trustees and or boosters are forming up that program, as we talked about earlier in the week. So he understands the nature of that department. He understands the wing of the boosters. We'll see who the next head of the boosters is and if there'll be simpatico with Michael Alford. But then now he also understands the inner workings of that athletic department, and he can fix it. Just go get me more money.
Yeah.
Let's get some nice things. And if you are the right guy or not the right guy, at least we got some things built, because we've been waiting around too long for some of that stuff.
Well, if it's a money-making operation, so you're building to make money, you're not building to build, you're building to make money. If that happens, then it will be successful. If the things that you're desiring come to pass, then it's a successful run, because it means the money came from somewhere. So that's those two go hand in hand. The other thing is, we can get into this more next week, but yes, there'll be simpatico, whoever the head of the boosters is, Tom.
Just a hunch.
Just a hunch. They're going to be
solving for the future of the boosters.
Yeah, I think we
already have the answer.
Yeah. I think we already have an answer there.
The back of the textbook.
They have to throw it out there, but yeah, I think that they have it. So, by the way, that was an extra long. There you go, ISF. Our partnership was a raging success today, even more so than usual, which is hard to imagine. You can trust ISF to help realize your innovative vision. They focus expertise at the state level, helps you attain efficiency, productivity, and return on investment. Hey, everybody cares about ROI. We do too. Today's a big day for that one. Go check them out, isf.com, to learn more. We saying goodbye?
No, we got a little bit more time. And
you want to make a pick? We failed the people yesterday.
We did. Oh, in terms of wins, losses, yeah, I was gonna say we made a pick. It was just the wrong one. But,
two random wrong ones. We sucked it up yesterday. It was terrible.
Well, you know what happened in Vancouver? They hired a new coach, and they rallied around their coach.
Sons of bitches.
Yeah, that's what I said.
They ruined it for us. We thought we had ourselves a thing. All right, I don't know. Where do you want to go? You want to go money line on the Steelers and the Vikes? It's a toughie.
Hey, Big Daddy, having some Red Russians tonight?
We'll know in about 47 seconds.
Into an open wing. It's picked up by Dowdy, an empty net. He scores.
I
damn, Big Daddy's done it again. Red Russians all around, Teddy. All right, Big Daddy.
Brought to you by our friends at North Florida Payroll Services, locally owned for nearly 15 years, offering payroll and HR services, including full online applicant onboarding and integration into payroll. Save your company money and headaches today. Head to northfloridapayroll.com. Woo! That's a read, baby.
That's 2 days in a row. You caught me talking to Matthew yesterday because I thought you were going to go through that particular read in the 20, 30 second range, and it was 12.
That was the get you some. I'm on it. Articulation. I don't have a, what stinks is I don't have a hockey bet, which goes hand in hand with our Red Russians. But I can give you Eastern Michigan plus 10 against Liberty.
Oh, wow.
I can give you that one. I feel pretty good about that one.
Did Malik declare? Or is he playing?
I don't think he's playing.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and jump on that plus 10, Tommy.
All right. With just under a minute to go, my recommendation is this. The last few times Tampa Bay and Toronto have played in the NHL.
That's a hell of a match.
A lot of blue and a lot of white. It looks like a practice is going on.
It's going to be great.
Yeah. They usually, Vegas that is, overvalue the total. They don't value the defense in those games, and they put a total around 7 or 7.5 goals. And it's always been a terrible line. You take the under, and you skate away happy.
Mm-hmm.
They finally figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
They've got the total at 5.5. And so I'm going the other way. I think it's an over tonight. Over 5.5 goals in Toronto as the Lightning played the Maple Leafs.
Over, what'd you say it was?
Over 5.5.
Over 5.5. Okay.
Yep.
Let's get it on, baby. All right. We had two. That feels good. Maybe a Dos Artes kind of night. Good work out of you. Good work, Matthew. Be well, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow on Live Nations Friday. Go to warchant.com.